Welcome to today's deep dive. We've got a pretty fascinating stack of sources today, like character essays, some behavioral psychology journals, and even a few mid-century philosophical critiques.
Yeah, it's a really eclectic mix, but they all tie together so perfectly.
Right. And our mission for you listening today is to explore the profound psychology behind the masks we wear to survive trauma. I mean, imagine an actor who plays a role so perfectly that they refuse to break character once they step off the stage.
And they aren't doing it out of, dedication to the craft.
Exactly. They're doing it because their actual reality has just become way too painful to face.
It's a really haunting survival mechanism.
Yeah.
And to ground this, the sources use this fantastic case study, Obito Uchiha from Naruto.
Oh, it's such a good example.
Right. It's a brilliant way to map out real-world behavioral science.
Mhm.
But to understand why it works, we have to look at who he was before he put the mask on.
Right. So originally, Obito is this really loud, optimistic kid. He wants to be Hokage, and he has this massive, naive belief in the goodness of the world.
Yeah, totally naive.
And then during a mission, he gets crushed in a cave-in while protecting his teammate Kakashi. And in his supposed final moments, he gives Kakashi his Sharingan eye and basically dies a hero, or, well, so everyone thinks.
Yeah, because he actually survives. Madara saves him, literally rebuilding half his crushed body with Hashirama cells.
Which is physically horrific,
Oh,
obviously.
absolutely. But the physical trauma isn't the real damage. Because while he's recovering and rushing back to find his friends, he actually witnesses Kakashi killing Rin, the girl Obito loved.
And, wait, I want to push back on this for a second. Looking at the lore in these essays, the circumstances of Rin's death were incredibly complicated, right?
Yeah.
Like, she basically engineered it to protect her village.
Yeah.
So if it was this complex wartime tragedy, why does this completely shatter Obito instead of just, causing immense normal grief?
Because it's not just the loss of a person for him. For Obito, Rin represented warmth, connection, basically the whole reason for his optimism.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so seeing her die at the hands of the very teammate he just sacrificed himself for, it causes a total collapse of his worldview.
Right.
The grief is just so overwhelming that processing it would destroy him. So he doesn't. He kills off his hopeful self instead and becomes Toby, which is this totally numb, cynical performance.
So he basically traps himself in this persona because grieving the real way would just break him. I mean, that sounds less like a conscious choice and more like his psychological development just froze in place.
That's actually the perfect way to describe it. In behavioral science, that freeze is called identity foreclosure.
Identity foreclosure.
Yeah. You experience severe trauma, you stop developing, and you lock into this rigid post-trauma identity. And the sources tie this heavily into what philosophers Jean-Paul Sartre called bad faith.
Bad faith, meaning you're deceiving yourself, like convincing yourself you have absolutely no choice but to be this monster your circumstances made you.
Exactly. But it goes beyond just a lie. It's an active, daily mechanism. Obito's brain is constantly filtering out any evidence of hope or goodness to maintain the Toby persona.
Wow.
Because if a crack forms in that logic, all that unprocessed grief of losing Rin will just flood in all at once.
It's almost like he decided that if the world could be this cruel and meaningless, then he might as well kill off the part of himself that ever cared in the first place.
Yeah, and that observation aligns perfectly with Albert Camus's concept of the absurd.
Right, Camus. So is Obito's mask basically a form of psychological suicide?
Yes, exactly that.
Yeah.
Camus argued that humans face a completely absurd, meaningless universe with three choices. We can deny it, we could escape it through suicide, either physical or psychological, like Obito escaping into Toby. Or we can revolt by choosing to create meaning anyway.
And that's where Naruto comes in, right? Naruto represents the revolt.
Exactly.
Because he has that exact same naive, relentless hope the original Obito had. He looks at the same meaningless, cruel world and just refuses to give up.
Yeah, and it's that relentless refusal that finally forces Obito's decades-old mask to crack. Naruto proves that you don't have to escape. Meaning can actually be built.
Which I think turns the mirror squarely on you, listening to us right now. Like, did a past failure, a profound loss, or a massive disappointment cause you to build a new, thicker-walled version of yourself?
It's such a common defense mechanism,
Yeah.
That mask efficiently saves you at 22. Gets you through the worst year of your life when everything else is just falling apart.
But that same mask can easily become a prison by 30. It keeps out the pain, sure, but it actively filters out the joy, the connection, the growth.
Right. And the psychological journals argue the truest act of courage isn't building that armor, it's being willing to finally take it off.
Even if the person underneath feels embarrassingly vulnerable, because dropping a character you've played for years is terrifying.
Yeah. You're trading the safety of that prison for the terrifying freedom of being real.
Think back to that actor who won't leave the stage. Breaking character is the only way to actually live.
Hmm.
So we want to leave you with this to ponder today. What if that naive, vulnerable version of you that you abandoned long ago wasn't weak at all? What if that was actually your most authentic, powerful self, just waiting to be reclaimed?